Hello, it's Melissa from 3milelaneco, and today we are going to be drawing a sentiment sticker. Let's go. I'm starting on a standard canvas. This is 1500 by 1500 pixels and it is 300 DPI. And today I am using the CMYK color profile, and you'll notice the difference between the CMYK and the original P3 or RGB because the color wheel is a little bit more muted. This is a good color profile to use if you are sending your stickers out to be professionally printed. I am going to be doing a standard circle sticker with a very important phrase to me. So we're going to go ahead and grab True Black by double tapping in True Black. I love using my Freycinet brush, so that is what we're using today. And I'm going to start by lettering my phrase. I'm going into the actions canvas and I'm going to turn on my drawing guide so I can make sure that I'm going to be lettering my phrase correctly and straight. Sometimes I have a problem with writing uphill, so we're going to go ahead and turn that grid on to help with that. I'm going to hit done, and now I can come over here and start writing my phrase. Once you have your sentiment lettered the way that you'd like, I'm going to go ahead and highlight all three of these by swiping each layer to the right and grouping it. I'm going to collapse the group so that I can put them all in one convenient selection. That way I can hit my selection tool and resize everything at the same time so that I can center it. And now we're going to create a background. So for the background, I'm going to go ahead and add a new layer, and I'm going to put that underneath the group. So I'm going to hold it down and drag it under the group and let go. And here it is underneath. I also want to put one on top so I can change the color of the text. And I need to flatten this group so that I can do a clipping mask, which I'll show you. I want to duplicate this so that I have the original group as well as the new group, which I can flatten. So to duplicate, swipe to the left and hit duplicate, and then I'm going to turn off this original group, and I'm going to keep it on the very bottom. The new group, I'm going to go ahead and tap and flatten, so now it's all on one layer, and I'm going to add another layer on top, which will be our clipping mask, so that we can add color and clip it to that text. We're going to focus on our background first, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some of my brand colors, and I have the teal, the rose, and the mustard yellow. I'm going to use the teal first, and with the Freycinet brush, I'm going to start creating my design. Okay, now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and work on the top layer. This is going to be the clipping mask for our text. And I want that layer to be all white with some black polka dots. So I'm going to get True White by double tapping in the white area of the color wheel. I'm going to keep my same brush so I have that texture, and I'm going to make the brush a little bigger so that I can color over all of the text. Then I'm going to grab the black, and I am going to go on another layer for this just so that if I mess up, I don't have to completely redo the white part. I'm going to go ahead and use this as my little polka dots. Oh, we need a much smaller brush. And we're just going to do little polka dots. Now, if you want to be able to see through the white to the letters so you can see where the polka dots are going to be, you can briefly turn the opacity down on that white layer so that you can see better where you're going to be putting all those polka dots. All right, now that we have those polka dots, we're going to turn the opacity back up on that white layer. And now that I like the placement, I'm going to go ahead and pinch those two layers together to combine them. And now we're going to tap and choose Clipping Mask. That will clip it to the text underneath. Now you notice that because I used a white background on this image and I have a background color of white, it blends too much so you can't see the words very well. So what we're going to do is duplicate our text layer several times. So I'm going to duplicate it 8 times, and then I'm going to pinch all those layers together. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that once more, and now you can see that there's an outline starting to form. So let's duplicate it until that outline gets nice and dark. And now you can see that we have that nice dark outline around our words, so it's a lot easier to read. We're also going to add a drop shadow. So I'm going to duplicate this layer again, take the very bottom layer, and I'm going to add a offset and Gaussian blur. So I'm just going to grab it with the selection tool, offset it a little bit to the right, and now we're going to click on adjustments and Gaussian blur layer. So we're going to just blur that layer just a little bit so it's more of a shadow. All right, I can get rid of my grid lines now, so I'm going to turn off the drawing guide so I can see my design a little more clearly. And I want this design to be on a circular sticker. So what I'm going to do is create a circle on the last layer. So I have my original group down here, which I'm going to keep. I'm going to add a new layer above that, and this is where my circle is going to be. I want to put all of these on the same layer. We're going to flatten all of this like we did before with our text, but I want to make sure that I have everything still on its own layer in case I make a mistake and need to go back. So I'm going to go ahead and group all of our elements for the design. I'm going to duplicate that group. I'm going to turn one of them off and move it down to the bottom, just so I have those just in case. So this one that's still on, we're going to go ahead and flatten. So on the layer just below our design, we're going to turn off the design real quick so that we can make that circle. I'm going to grab my hard airbrush, and I'm going to use white because ultimately I do want to keep a white background. I'm going to make the background a slightly lighter gray color so that I can see where I'm drawing my circle on the layer under my image I want to clip to the circle. So now I'm going to draw a circle, and you do want to make sure you're choosing a brush that is very opaque and does not have any gaps or holes in it, because we're going to fill this circle in. I'm using a finger to hold down as I drew that shape so that it snaps to a circle. We're going to fill it in, and then we're going to center it on the canvas. And to get these lines, you want to make sure that you have snapping on. Now that I have that, we're going to go ahead and turn our design back on. We're going to go ahead and make sure that it's centered like that. And I do want to add just a few more elements so that the design goes a little bit further out to fill in more of the circle. All right, I think that that looks pretty good. So I can go ahead and turn my background off, and now we are able to export our sticker as a PNG file to our laptop to cut out as a sticker. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell icon so you can be notified when I upload next. I upload tutorials on Wednesdays and studio vlogs on Saturdays. You can find me on social media under the name 3milelaneco. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!